Okay, today we will be teaching lessons 7 and 8 for positive actions or second step. And what are the lessons today?
Today is conversations, all about conversations. So it's kind of hard to make new friends, and conversations are just a really good way to start a friendship or to get to know somebody a little bit better. So we're just going to give a few hints today about how to start a conversation. So when you have a conversation, it's a way of letting a person know that you're interested in them, that you care about them, and that you'd like to get to know them a little bit better.
Right, and sometimes we get stuck by asking questions that
Or dead end.
dead end questions, let's call them that.
Yes,
I like that.
that's good. So my son came home a while ago, and he had this friend that he kept trying to have a conversation with. And he said that this friend is fairly shy, and so every time he'd ask a question, the answer would be yes or no. So he would say things like, "Oh, did you have fun on the field trip?" And she'd say yes, and he'd say, "Are you playing volleyball?" "Yes." "Are you enjoying it?" "Yes." So he wasn't getting very far, and they would just end right there, and it would be a little bit awkward. So we need to ask questions that have a little bit of substance, that are asking, that require a response
Right.
that's more than just one word.
Exactly. So in order to do that, we came up with some conversation starters. And you can Google conversation starters if you want more questions like these. These will be really fun to do with a group of friends, or they would also be fun to do around the dinner table. You could have some fun conversations starting in your own family. Okay, so do you want to go first, or do you
Sure.
want me to?
If you could have one wish, what would it be?
Definitely, this might surprise you, but I wish that you and I could go get our toes done, get a pedicure, and get a massage.
That
together.
sounds nice. I like that wish. Thanks for including me in
You're
your
welcome.
wish.
Okay, the next one is for you, Mrs. Baumgartner, and I want to know, what is your favorite food?
Oh, my favorite food, and I'm really hungry right now, so it makes it even worse, is chicken fettuccine.
Oh, that's
The
so
creamy
good.
sauce,
Yes.
and I like zucchini and mushrooms in it.
Oh my gosh, I love it with broccoli.
Ooh, I haven't tried that. That
Yes.
sounds good. I bet asparagus would be good as well.
Asparagus would be so good with like sea salt sprinkled over it and put in the oven. Oh,
French bread.
so good.
Ooh, I'm hungry.
Okay, I guess we're eating dinner together too.
I think so. All right. If you could speak any language, what would it be?
Definitely Spanish.
Oh, I'm surprised by that. Tell me more.
Okay, well, my older kids all speak Spanish, and my husband speaks Spanish, and also my son-in-law's family all speak Spanish, and I really wish, I feel left out. I really wish I could speak it
Oh.
better. I only know my numbers.
Interesting. You could just tell them your numbers all the time.
I could.
Oh, I would have guessed that maybe you would choose German since our dad is from Germany.
That would be also a good guess, but you forgot that I already know German.
You're right. I did forget you know
Yes.
some German.
I'm not fluent, but I'm okay. Mrs. Baumgartner, I almost called you Natalie because we're friends, so we go by our first names when
That's
we're
right.
not teaching
And
positive.
sisters.
We are sisters. Okay, if you could be any animal, what would you be? I actually do not know what you're gonna say for this.
I would totally be a puma. I would.
A puma.
I think
Okay.
they're sleek, and they're really fast, and they're kind of sneaky, and I like to play tricks and
You
jokes
are a
on people.
puma.
I
Yes, you are tricky.
Mhm.
You're
I like
fast.
to run.
Okay.
Just call me Puma.
That's gonna be your new name.
Okay, Mrs. Latin, what is your favorite month?
My favorite month, surprisingly, is right now, October.
Wow.
I
Happy
love-
favorite month.
Thank you. I love the fall leaves. I love the color changes, and especially when it's like an Indian summer day and it's warm, but the air is a little bit crisp.
Ooh, I love that too. I wish we were having an Indian summer right now. It's
I
a
know
little cold.
it's a little too cold. It makes me sad. but-
Very interesting.
Okay, what is your favorite treat?
Oh my goodness. So you guys are totally gonna have to try this. I like to make chocolate chip cookies, and I make the cookies and then put them in the bowl or whatever, and then I save my own little Tupperware dish of just the cookie dough. And then I'll take a scoop out and put it in the bowl and microwave it until
Oh
it's
my
nice and warm and gushy. And then I put ice cream on the top.
Mocha ice cream?
Of course, with a little bit of chocolate.
That sounds so good.
It's so delicious.
So now we're gonna go get massages,
Mm-hmm.
have
fettuccine.
dinner, and have dessert
And I'll
together.
have to play some tricks on you since I'm a Puma.
You are a Puma. All right, so see how fun that was and how much we learned about each other just by some simple questions
Yeah.
that require more than a yes or no answer. So that's your goal, is to have some conversation starters with your friends or family.
Right. So another great way, another great thing to add into conversations is compliments. A compliment is a way to let somebody know that you appreciate them or that you notice good things about them. It just makes them feel good. It can really turn somebody's day
Yeah.
around and make them feel good to get a compliment.
Right. Let's practice that right now.
Okay. First of all, did you know there's two parts to a compliment?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a compliment.
Okay.
So giving is part
of
of
it.
those two things. So Mrs. Latin, I really appreciate that you are so good at math because you always help my son with his assignments in an area that I can't, and you're calm and willing to just explain it to him in a way that he understands.
That's really interesting because I don't feel very good at math.
Oh, you don't?
No, I always struggled with it a little bit in high school, and so I don't feel very confident about that.
Oh. Well, okay, so giving a compliment is kind of like giving a gift. And I gave a gift to Mrs. Latin when I gave her a compliment. What do you think the second part is?
Well,
What are you going to do with that gift?
I mean, I didn't ask for this gift.
No.
It's not my birthday,
Mm-mm.
so I just don't really want it.
Wow, that was so
I'm
rude.
sorry, that was rude. I shouldn't have done that.
So,
I feel bad now, I'm sorry.
well, I don't think we realize how often we don't accept gifts or compliments. Do you realize that when people say, wow, your hair looks nice, and I go, no, it looks ugly, we're kind of acting passive. So a
That
passive
is
person
true.
will build up others but put themselves down. And being passive and not accepting a compliment is kind of like not accepting a gift.
Yeah, we don't want to throw away the gift.
No. No.
So let's try it again.
Let's try again.
Okay.
Mrs. Latin, I love that you are good at math and that you're willing to share that gift with other people. Like when my son comes to you and needs help on his homework assignments, you explain it in a way that he understands and you make him feel confident.
Thank you so much. That makes me feel so good because math is not my favorite subject, but you just made my day because it was something that I didn't feel very confident about.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's kind of how a compliment works. You, not only do you give compliments, but you have to be willing to accept them and receive them, and you do that by saying thank you.
So this might be a really good time to think about how you receive a compliment. And if you struggle with receiving a compliment well, then work on saying thank you, and I think you'll feel better yourself, and also the person that's giving the compliment will be happier.
Right. It's kind of an amazing thing because if you'll actually accept it and say thank you, it kind of starts working in your mind, and you're able to believe that a little bit more
Right.
rather and build your confidence.
Yes, like right now, I feel actually like I'm smarter.
Oh, I'm so glad. Okay, so now what
All right.
happens in a conversation when you disagree?
Well, first, before we do that, let's just quickly.
Oh yeah,
Did you
that's
forget
a
about
great
these?
idea. I did.
We do have some conversation starters for people, for some of you students that might just need a little help on complimenting others. So what are some ways we can start a compliment?
Ooh.
You'll have to fill in the blank, but Mrs. Bumgarner is going to read these out to us.
I like these because it's really important when you give a compliment that it's sincere. And so you're not just saying, oh, nice hair, or I like your jeans, they're really cute. You're actually thinking of something specific for them. So the first one is, I think you, and that might sound something like, I think you're really good at drawing. You are. I feel like I like how you, and then you give the example. I like the way you. Thank you for. You are good at. You were a good friend when. It was nice of you too. Good job showing. And you worked really hard at. So each of those things are just the starters, and then you can fill in something that you notice.
You fill in the blank, and don't forget when you're doing these to speak loudly, say their name, and look them in the eye. And then, of course, be sincere. If we're not sincere about a compliment, then it comes across, like we talked about in a lesson a few weeks ago, it comes across as sarcasm, and that is very hurtful. So
Right.
be sincere about it. Say thank you if you're the receiving the compliment, and we can't wait for you to try that.
Yeah.
Okay, now we'll go on to disagreeing.
Okay, yes.
Because we sometimes, it will be inevitable that we will have some disagreements when we're having conversations.
Right. So, how can you disagree with somebody and still be respectful?
So, the first thing that you should try to do is find something that you have in common that you agree with.
Ooh.
So, it takes practice, remember, because you have to stop thinking in your head about what you want to say, and you actually have to think about what the person is telling you.
I like that. What it reminds me of is going to the dentist when you were little. And remember, they'd have the big wooden treasure chest?
Yes.
All
Oh
full
my
of the
goodness, full of the
prizes.
prizes.
So when you got to choose your prize,
Mhm.
did you just go open it up and pick out the first thing?
No.
What did you do?
I would get all of the choices out. And then I would like look at them all over carefully. And then I would always like end up with like two that I really loved. And I would have to take some time to think about that. And then finally choose the one that I thought was gonna be the best one for me.
Exactly. So that's kind of what we need to do with our words when we're having a disagreement. We need to choose our words really carefully and make sure we're being respectful, make sure we're seeing their perspective, and that we're not going to hurt their feelings.
So words can be so hurtful that we have to take time and really think about what we want to say and choose wisely.
Right. And
I love
empathy, both empathy and compassion can help us in that. Because if we're having empathy and trying to put ourselves in their shoes and maybe see their perspective, like we
Yes.
talked about last time, that can help us to choose
To
more
choose
carefully what our
more
words
carefully. So some really good ways to start are I understand,
are. Mm-hmm.
and then you talk about parts of the conversation that you agreed with and you understood their perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could say, however, I disagree, this is the way I feel. And if we are willing to be accepting and respectful, we can agree to disagree.
Right.
Which is happening quite a bit right now.
You're
With-
right.
During this election time, we have to be extra mindful to treat each other with kindness and
Right.
respect. Respect that we don't all agree on the right thing, on everything, and respect what each other's opinions or
Mhm.
thoughts might be.
We all have our right to vote and to choose for ourselves, and so we need to be able to respect that in other people as well. We don't want our rights to be taken away, so we also need to make sure that other people, we have their opinions.
Right, we agree with whatever their thoughts are.
Right.
Okay, thanks for joining us today. Good luck trying some of these new challenges of how to create better conversations with those around you.
See you next time.